Yeah, ready. Conor Benn has been spotted grinding hard in the gym beside heavyweight powerhouse Daniel Dubois. The energy around his long-awaited rematch with Chris Eubank Jr. is absolutely electric. But Hamzah Shiraz believes Benn's about to prove something bigger. From where he's standing, Eubank's toughest battle might not even be against Benn. It's against the scales. Cutting that much weight again, this late in his career, could drain more out of him than anyone expects. Shiraz sees it coming. He's certain the fatigue will show, and Benn will seize the moment, finishing it all inside 6 rounds.
I've got Conor Benn to win inside 6 rounds. I feel like the weight will affect Eubank too much on how it affected him before as well. And it was a hard fight. It wasn't an easy fight. Yeah, Conor Benn to win inside about 6 rounds.
Tim Bradley sees things much the same way, though his take leans more towards strategy than emotion. He's convinced Benn has the kind of power that can absolutely stop Eubank, if he learns how to control it. In Bradley's eyes, what cost Benn their first fight wasn't skill, but emotion. He came in burning too hot, too desperate to make a statement, and that fire pulled him into the kind of exchanges where Eubank's calm and composure took over.
Yeah, I know that rematch is coming up soon. And Chris Eubank Jr. Yeah, shoot, look. Conor Benn can knock him out. Conor Benn can knock him out in the rematch. Oh, yeah. Couple things he got to do, though. You know, boxing one-on-one, man, when you're fighting a taller guy, you never want to step back in straight lines. You want to exit the sides. He stepped back in straight lines. He allowed Eubank to extend with those long arms, so he's getting caught on the end of his shots a lot of the times. Another thing, early on, got too reckless. You got to be more reserved, my man. Act like you've been there before. You got to control those emotions, all right? A lot of swinging, a lot of wild swinging, a lot of energy wasted early that you could have had on the back end, and you could have finished stronger. But you didn't. You wasted a lot of energy swinging that air. Mad, intense. Hey, controlled aggression. That's what it got to be, Conor Benn. Control.
Eddie Hearn is savoring every second of the build-up. To him, this isn't just another fight. It's the rebirth of one of British boxing's fiercest rivalries. Their first clash was pure theater, overflowing with emotion and moments fans still talk about. Now, Hearn's mission is to bottle that same electricity once again, but without letting either fighter cross the line. It's a delicate balance, one he knows could define the entire event.
There were times when, I don't know, not I think Eubank would retire, but the first fight was incredibly physically taxing on both men. You know, both men ended up eventually that night in hospital, and Eubank was there for several days. And there was definitely a feeling of, are they going to want to run it back? I mean, the money's obviously huge, but do you want to go to those places again? And, you know, I have to give, you know, despite our differences, I have to give Junior respect, because he went to some deep places that night. Both of them did. And they're choosing to run it back and go to the same places where they will definitely be going in this fight. So, you know, the first fight date, which was September 20th, didn't get off the ground because, you know, Eubank physically said he wasn't ready for that fight. So we're here now, November 15th, back at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and back for another.
Amir Khan looks at it from a different angle. In his eyes, the rematch won't be a runaway. It's going to be far closer than their first encounter. Khan believes Benn held a little something back the first time around, maybe out of respect for the stage or doubt about how his power would carry at a higher weight. But now, with that experience behind him, Khan expects a different version of Benn, one that's sharper, more confident, and ready to take control from the opening bell.
I think Conor will do a little bit more because he knows he had a little bit more left in the tank from the last fight. That he could have done more, but he was just holding back a little bit. So I think it'll be a closer fight than the first one, but I think Eubank will still take that fight. Maybe just take the win, because Eubank will have the confidence that he's beaten once before. He's bigger than him physically. And finally, yeah, I think experience. Yeah, I mean, and because he's the favourite going into fight, people are always going to be. I think one thing about Eubank is that I think he's won a lot of fans over lately. A lot of people give him a hard time. He's a nice guy, man. He's not a bad guy. And I think he's won a lot of fans over. So, yeah, respect.
Johnny Nelson isn't entirely sold on the idea that Eubank has really evolved. He respects the win back in April, but deep down, He doesn't see much difference in Eubank's overall game. If Eubank truly had the power to stop Benn, Nelson says, he would have done it then. What caught his attention wasn't Eubank's control or dominance. It was Benn's grit, the way he refused to break no matter what came his way.
Chris will give himself every possible chance that's going, but in reality, personally, I just think the last performance of Chris, I thought, you've got nothing left. There's no more improvement on what I'm seeing there. And I know there was the weight issue and all the build up to it. I thought there's no more improvement there.
Does that mean you think do you think Conor Benn will be better in the second fight?
Yes.
Does that mean that you think that by him being better and there's no more left from Chris Eubank, that Conor Benn's able to bridge the gap and get an outcome in his second fight?
Without a doubt.
You do?
He couldn't have done any more. If he could have knocked out Conor in that fight, he would have done.
Yeah.
He just couldn't get rid of him. And Conor stuck it. So regardless of him being surprised that Conor stuck it out a lot more, he couldn't.
Dave Allen also believes the rematch tilts in Benn's favor. In his eyes, Benn has grown massively since that first showdown. That experience gave him a clear understanding of what's coming. The pace, power, the pressure. This time, there's no guessing, no surprises. And Allen adds one more crucial point. Eubank's toughest opponent might not even be Benn himself. It could be the battle with the scales.
If I had to put my neck on the line, which is what this video is about, at this stage, I'm going to go for a Conor Benn win. And my old man will definitely disagree. My old man will say Eubank is still going to be too big. It's still going to be too good. I just think a combination of Eubank having to make the weight again, because I think he struggles no matter what anyone says. He definitely struggles to make middleweight. The rehydration clause, maybe it's not big as an issue as people say it is. It still is an issue. And that coincided with he's not getting any younger, and that was a really hard fight, along with the fact that will probably do Conor Benn some good. Bit more experience, he's been there now, he knows he can bother Eubank, he knows he can hurt him. I want to go for a Conor Benn win.
Still within Eubank's camp, a quiet sense of confidence is taking shape. Ronnie Davies, who stood beside Eubank for years, hinted that things weren't as smooth as they seemed before the first fight. He didn't reveal specifics, but his tone said enough. There were problems behind the scenes, small disruptions that may have unsettled Eubank's entire preparation.
This time, what I know, there's a few issues last time, which I can't talk about, is he? But this time, Ziggy, when we talked to Ziggy before, sorry mate. This time he'll do it right, and you'll see a different Eubank, and I think he'll finally make an easier job. But then again, you don't know with Benn. He's a very determined young kid, very fit, very powerful, and he's young. And he'll fight his heart out.
So George Groves, who knows Eubank's journey better than most, brings another dimension to the conversation. He feels this rematch carries a different kind of energy. Gone is the family tension and emotional chaos that fueled their first fight. This time, it's about legacy and timing. For Eubank, the clock is ticking. The window for big money fights and another run at world titles is slowly starting to close.
One different caveat, if you like, to this is Bomac is back.
Yes.
Now, which is interesting.
That is interesting. Now, he gave credit to Jonathan Banks for last time, but Bomac is different. He is different.
Different gravy.
I mean, the best we ever seen Chris Eubank Jr., in my opinion, was the Liam Smith rematch.
Yeah.
Bomac training him. Did you hear what Bomac said? This would send shivers down my spine when he goes, oh yeah, I had a look at that fight. Oh, there's a lot I can work with. You're like, if you're Conor Benn, you're thinking, sitting there going, oh,
Yeah. I would love Chris to put the ego away and get to America and let Bomac train you over there.
Oh, that'd be the...
You want to be in that gym. You want to be surrounding those little killers and sparring those guys, right? You want to be sparring those smaller guys who are like as fast as Conor and nippy as Conor. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and they will. And he'd probably, listen...
He'll get lit up by some of them. He'll get lit up by some of them.
But believe me, it's going to pay you dividends.
One interesting twist in all this, Bomac is back. Yes, he's back. And that changes things. Last time, Eubank gave credit to Jonathan Banks, but Bomac, he's built different. He's a whole other level. The best version of Chris Eubank we've ever seen, in my opinion, was in the Liam Smith rematch, and that was under Bomac's watch. And when Bomac said, yeah, I watched that fight, there's a lot I can work with, it sent chills down my spine. Because if you're Conor Benn, you're sitting there thinking, asterisk, damn, this could get real. Asterisk, you just hope Eubank can put his ego aside, head to America, and fully commit to Bomac's system. Because that would be the move. Being in that gym, surrounded by killers, sparring those sharp, fast guys who fight with the same snap and speed as Ben. That's the environment that could transform him.